Life is all about learning. We are always learning from the day of our birth to the day of our death. If we stop learning, we are already dead. Learning is a meta skill. If you understand how to learn easily and retain that information for a long time, you have a superpower. Learning begins as a baby. Have you ever noticed a baby copying your facial expressions when you look at it? If you're smiling, the baby starts smiling. This is the first contact of learning that begins in humans. Then we are sent to school, where we learn from a range of topics from history to art to sciences, technology, internet, and many more things. But has anyone ever taught you how to learn? School is a game of memorization. Our teachers don't teach us how to learn. Rather, they teach us how to memorize for exams. If you use this technique of memorization in real life, it's a recipe for disaster. Life is not a memorization game. Life is all about learning skills that you're curious about. And you cannot do that by memorization. So, how do we learn? There are many different ways that you can learn. But I am going to share only one method in this video. This is called the learning pyramid. This learning pyramid helps you understand how do you retain information by different acts of learning. This pyramid was first introduced by Dr. Edward Dale, who was a education specialist in 1940s. This was later revamped by National Training Institute in 1960s and named as the learning pyramid. So if you are listening to a class, a video or an audiobook, you will only retain 5% of that information. The rest 95% you will forget. That's why we forget so many things that we listen to. This is good and bad because we want to forget a lot of bad things we hear about ourselves, but we also want to retain a lot of good things. So how to enhance that? Reading. So when you read something, now you can retain up to 10% of the information. That's why a lot of people suggest reading over listening an audiobook. I know it's still 10%, but it's double than 5%. Your experiences doubles in learning when you combine listening and reading together. So imagine you're reading a book and you also are listening to that audiobook. Now it will help you remember 20% of the information. Things start to take a upward trend when you start demonstrating and discussing what you learned. Demonstration is just showing what you are learning or writing down what you just consumed. So if you went to a lecture, taking notes can be a part of demonstration. Also, after the lecture, writing down what you gathered from that lecture is a part of demonstration. Now you can retain up to 30% of that information. Things change when you start discussing what you just consumed. Imagine you start reading a book called Atomic Habits and your friend also started reading the same book. You guys make a pact that you guys will talk to each other and discuss what you consumed from the book every 3 days. The good, the bad, what action items you can take from the book. Now, that will help you retain up to 50% of that information. But things start to go parabolic when you start applying the things you learn into your own life. Imagine in the book Atomic Habits, you start learning about habits and you start applying those habits and systems into your life. Now, you can retain up to 75% of the information that you consumed from this book. because you're applying the things that they talk in the book into your life, and it is living with you. You unlock the greatest lever in learning when you start teaching what you learn. Now you are living what you are learning, and you are teaching it to others. You take in their queries, their doubts that help you see the areas that were first blinded by your own consciousness. This is one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel, to increase my own level of learning by helping other people to understand these subjects. I know not everyone wants to teach, but the easiest action item you can take from this video is to start applying whatever book you read, whatever video you watch, any good information you intake, start applying that right away. This helps you retain 75% of that information. Learning is a skill, and mastering that will help you achieve whatever goals and dreams you have in life.